Hi, I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to use the parent version of GraphLock to lock down your children's devices. So first, you will go to your respective app store where you can search for GraphLock and then download on tablets and phones. The first time you open it, it will ask you to accept push notifications. Make sure to select yes. This is how you will be notified if your child ever does try to leave a lockdown session. It will then take you through a couple introductory screens where then you will need to sign up and register a GraphLock account. So first, click Sign Up. Then you will register your child as a student and yourself as a parent. Your GraphLock account will be tied to the email address you used to register. After registering, go to your email where you will follow a link to validate your account. This is when you will then be able to log into GraphLock. If you have any trouble with this, we do have a full video walking you through the steps of how to register and validate your GraphLock account on our YouTube channel. So what I'm going to do is I am going to sign in as a parent on the tablet, and then you can see I'm already signed in as a student on the iPhone. Notice on the student's homepage they have My Classes for School, Join a Session, and Use Calculator. On the parent's homepage, you have My Children and Use Calculator, just in case you ever need one, and also so that you have the same tool as your child. In the upper left corner is the Menu tab. This is where you can manage your profile, go to the FAQs, as well as the settings. So let's look at how do you actually add your children to your GraphLock account to lock down their devices. So I'm going to click the My Children's tab. To add a child, click the plus button. Now, all you have to do is add your child's email that they use to register in GraphLock. If you don't know what this is, notice if I click the Menu tab on the student's version, they have the email right there across the top. So I can simply enter that in. The good news is you only have to do this once. So notice it's still showing me no children. It just takes a second to update. So I'm going to go back to my home page, and if I now open up My Children, you can now see I have one child in my GraphLock account. Your child can actually not ever delete themselves from your account. Only you can delete them if you choose to do so. Simply just click the trash can button and yes, and then you can delete them from your account. If you would like to add another child, click the blue tab at the very bottom, and once again, enter in their email ID. You can now see I have two children added to my GraphLock account. So across the top you have your counter. It shows you 2 total. 0 in green have joined. What this means is neither one of them are currently in a lockdown session. And 2 are pending in orange. So notice it's orange by each of their profiles right now. What that means is neither one of them are in lockdown and both their devices are working as normal. So how do you actually put your child into a lockdown session to lock down their device? Let's go ahead and put Mallory into lockdown. To do this, click the pencil symbol on their profile. Now you can first customize the calculator if you would like to. You could actually take it all the way down to basic if you would like. If not, just swipe left. Now you set the timer. This will be the length of the lockdown session. There's no limit. So just click the numbers above or below to set the timer for as long as you would like. All right, for your student to join, your child to join, they will now need to enter this unique session code. Notice at the top there. Every time you start a lockdown session, it will generate a new code that they will enter in. There's a few ways they can do this though. If you click the envelope tab in the upper right corner, it will actually automatically generate an email for you to send directly to your child with the code that they can then copy and paste to their side. The other thing is you can actually click this arrow in the upper right corner. It'll automatically send a push notification to them. Notice I select yes here. It automatically puts that session code in your child's device for them, which they can then go to join the session. Please note the very first time on an Apple device that a child is going to join a lockdown session, you must first set up guided access mode. You will do this through the settings on your home page. We have the steps listed right here, but we also have a full video on our YouTube channel that will walk you through the steps. The good news is you only have to do that once and then you never have to worry about it again. For Androids, what will happen is it will say enable pin app mode. All you have to do is click OK, and then it will allow them to join the session. It will not allow your child to join the session until their phones are in silent and they've enabled these different modes. So I'm going to click the check mark to join the session and the pink triangle here to start the session as a parent. So you can see on the parent side, it's now green by Mallory's profile, meaning she is now in lockdown, and you can see that the counter has now updated. If I go back to the My Children's, it will show me that I have Mallory in lockdown, so one has joined in green, and it shows you the length of the lockdown that you've created. And notice Josh is still in orange because we haven't set up his lockdown quite yet. So here's another neat thing. You can actually set up all your children's lockdown to be the same amount of time and to start at the same time, or you can actually lock them down at different times and for different lengths of times. It's completely up to you. So now if we look at my child's device on Mallory's iPhone, I now know that she is in lockdown because she has a green stripe across the top of her device. When your child is in lockdown, whether they're using a phone or a tablet, there will always be a green stripe across the top. No green stripe means they are not in lockdown. If your child wants to make an emergency call or needs to, they can simply click the red phone symbol in the upper right corner. It will then say, "Are you sure that you want to?" If they click yes, this will then allow them to leave the lockdown session to make an emergency call. You will still be notified on your side though. So let's look at what happens if your child does decide to force their way out of lockdown. The good news is you actually don't have to watch this like a hawk. You could have it running in the background. Remember, as a parent, you can do this from a tablet, your own phone, or even from the computer. Let's say your child does try to force their way out. Notice you get a pop-up saying someone's left. You get the number on the app. So now if I open this, it now shows me that Mallory has left lockdown. And notice it is now red by hers, meaning one has left. So if Mallory now goes to the calculator here, notice no more green stripe on their device. So what this means is they're no longer in lockdown. So that's how you're notified if they do try to leave. I'm going to put Mallory in lockdown one more time. And you can see it's automatically updated. So green stripe again, it's green by their profile, and it's green saying that the one has joined. So now let's say we want to put Josh into lockdown. And I'm going to lock him down for 2 hours. And I go to start the session. So once again, I can send a push notification and I can start the session. It's still showing me that Josh is not joined. So that's how you know whether they've joined or not. It will always update for you. It'll also keep track of how much time is left. And so this is where you can see which of your children are currently in lockdown, how much time they have left. So a couple different ways to stop lockdown. Either, as soon as the timer runs out, your children's devices will go right back to normal, so you don't even have to worry about it. Or if you would like to stop them, there's a couple different ways you can do it. If you would like to end one of your children's lockdown sessions individually before the timer runs out, you can do it right from here by simply clicking this stop square there, and that will stop the session for that one individual child. If you would like to stop lockdown for all your children at the same time, you can do it from your lockdown page. All I did was click on Mallory's name and it took me to this lockdown page. I can do that by clicking this stop square right here, and this will end the lockdown sessions for all of my children. So notice none of them are in lockdown any longer, and if you can see now on Mallory's iPhone, her phone is now no longer locked down and it goes right back to normal. So that's how you can create your parent account, add your children to it, and then put them into lockdown sessions on GraphLock. If you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to contact us at info@graphlock.com. That's info@graphlock.com.